Inspiration in action. CUW.edu/MBA.
Your source for complete Brewers coverage from every angle. It's Brewers 360. Mornings at 7:15 on News Radio 620 WTMJ. Check in often so you don't miss a thing.
The Brewers are on the bat in the third. The top of the order is up. Here's Corey.
Oh, you thanks. Ricky Weeks singled on the opening pitch of the game. A fastball to left field off Randy Wells back into first. Ricky now 1 for 5 in this series. Brewers have not scored yet in this series. Shut out last night and not scored through 2 so far tonight. Wells ready, and Ricky takes a strike this time, 0-1. Wells took something off that pitch, 87 miles per hour. Nyjer Morgan on deck, and then Ryan Braun. Ray Johnson a few steps towards left center. And the 0-1, that's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. In his career, Weeks has 4 career home runs here at Wrigley Field. His average lifetime at this ballpark right around 218. Now the 1-1 swing and a miss. Healthy rip. It was a change of pace from Wells at 81 miles per hour. That's a ball and 2 strikes. DeWitt, Johnson, Fukudome left to right. Infield third to first. Ramirez, Castro, Baker, and Pena. And Soto is behind the plate. Wells the sign, and the 1-2 pitch. Line to left center. That's going to drop for a base hit. In the gap to cut it off is DeWitt. But Ricky, with a 1-2 count, went down and pulled a base hit to left center. And Weeks is out for the second time tonight. Nobody out, no score in the third. And here's Morgan. Now John Tackett from Fond du Lac is our contestant tonight in the Lakin Contractor Supply and Fabco Rents 3-bagger in the third sweepstakes. And John, I will explain the rules here in a moment as Nyjer bats. But first a check on Weeks, and he's back in safely. Okay, John, if a Brewers batter belts a triple in this half inning, you win $250 in flybucks courtesy of Frontier Airlines. Folks, you can visit any Lincoln Contractor Supply and Fabco Rent store for details, or enter online at jsosports.com. Morgan shows bunt, lays it down. It'll drop right of the mound. Wells has it. A late shuffle. He throws it away. Bouncing off the tarp. Weeks to third. He will hold as Morgan stops at second. That'll be a single for Morgan. Then the runners move up a bag each on E1. It looked like Wells just had trouble finding the grip. He made the play. The ball landed right at the mound, in between the mound and the first base bag on the grass, and Wells made a clean pick, but then he just never got a good clean grip inside the webbing of his glove. He tried to shovel the ball to first, and he threw it over everybody. Ball went into foul territory, landing near the tarp. Weeks at third, Morgan at second, nobody out. Brewers in business, no score, with the heart of the order coming up. So again, give Morgan a bunt single, and he takes second on E1. Weeks at third on the error. Second error committed by the Cubs tonight. They now have 55 errors on the year. They were right there with the Astros for most errors committed in the National League. 2 on, nobody out as Ryan Braun lines a base hit to left center. Weeks will score. Morgan to third. He will hold as DeWitt's throw comes all the way back in. Ryan Braun, first pitch swinging. He goes down and lines one over a leaping Starlin Castro. And Braun has his 49th RBI. Ricky is in, and the Brewers lead 1-0. Looked like a hanging breaking ball to Braun. And a run is in. Morgan to third. Braun at first. Still nobody out. The shift is on for Fielder. Prince flied to right his first time. Wells from the stretch. And the pitch. And Fielder takes down low, ball 1. So defensively, the Cubs have 3 infielders right of second. Castro, the shortstop, still playing on the dirt, but again playing right of the bag. Baker is playing on the dirt. On the right side as well. Pena holding Braun on. And now Wells throws over. We mentioned this a bit last night. Both Braun and Fielder lifetime numbers at Wrigley Field awfully impressive for both batters. Fielder with 11 home runs in his career here at Wrigley. Braun hitting over 390 lifetime. Now the 1-0 is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Brewers 1, Cubs nothing. 2 on. Nobody out. Morgan at third, Braun at first. And the 2-0 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. Now you know that Fielder has the 3-0 green light. Prince sitting on 19 home runs, a chance to tack on to his 58 RBIs. Wells, the sign from Soto. A long look, and now is set to go. Soto wants it inside instead of check, and Braun is back in safely. I like what Nyjer Morgan is doing, by the way, dancing off the third base bag. You know, he's not just sitting there with his left foot on the bag while Wells makes a play on Braun. Just in case he throws the ball away, Morgan's ready to run home. Now the 3-0 pitch, a swing and a pop-up foul out of play left side. That will get to the second deck. And it's 3-1. Wells coming in, ERA over 6. This is just his 5th start this year. Spent some time with the DL with a forearm injury. And the 3-1, he walked him. Braun was running with the pitch. But a walk to Fielder, and now they're loaded. Nobody out. Brewers by 1, thinking big here. And the batter is McGee. Walks have been a problem for Wells this year. In his 4 previous starts, he's averaging 5 walks per 9 innings this year. That's a ton. Now McGee 0 for 1 tonight. He bounced to Ramirez back in the second. Infield is back up the middle. They will concede a run. And the pitch, McGee bouncing ball up the middle. Diving stop. Castro shovel second one. That's all they get. A run scores. Castro though saved another run. The Cubs do get an out. Fielder out at second on the force, but a run does score. Morgan is in. Give McGee the RBI. Brewers on top 2-0 and a ground ball ticketed for center. But Castro with a diving stop right on the lip of the grass behind second. Then made a good shovel from his knees to Baker on the bag to get Fielder. But a run is in. Braun to third. Again, McGee his 25th RBI. So 1 out at the corners. Brewers by 2. And the batter is Corey Hart. Give McGee a fielder's choice. At the corners, 1 out. Brewers on top 2-0. Here it comes to Corey. And he takes inside for ball 1. Well, Randy Wells asks for a new ball. And that's exactly what he gets from Alfonso Marquez. Hart looking for his first hit in this series. He bounced out to Ramirez in the second. He's 0 for 4. Corey lifetime at Wrigley batting right around 270. McGee a short lead at first, and the pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Soto. That ball bounced about 2 feet in front of home plate. Soto with his shin guards down, his blue shin guards down on the dirt behind the plate, able to smother that ball. And it looked like he took it off the top of his chest protector or the bottom part of his mask. I think the latter. I think the part of his mask that covers his chin is where that ball ricocheted off of. 2-0 Crew. Braun at third, McGee at first, only 1 out. Wells to Hart, and the 2-0, strike 1 called. He came back inside, and Corey took it for a strike. Wind is blowing in again tonight. Off the lake. Blowing in from center and right center. Righty on righty, and the 2-1. Outside ball 3. In fact, speaking of the wind, I was watching BP on the field before the game, and Ryan Braun was hitting in the first BP group tonight. And he was telling Corey Hart, Nigel Morgan, guys in his group, for the right-handed batters, you got to pull tonight. That's the only chance, unless you really knock it. The only chance you really have tonight is for a right-handed batter to go to left field. Now the 3-1 pitch. He checked and took it for ball 4. Wells wants an appeal. He gets it, but it's a ball anyway. So the second walk this inning issued by Wells. So McGee down to second. Hart walks. They're loaded once again. Still one out. And here's Betancourt. But first, a visit to the mound by Cubs first-year pitching coach Mark Riggins. And this quick trip to the mound. Betancourt, he lined a base hit to left center back in the second. The Brewers scoring twice this inning. RBI single Ryan Braun. Fielder's choice RBI for McGee. Cubs, I should say the Brewers have 3 hits in the inning. A couple of walks. They're loaded. And now Marquez walking out to the mound to break up the meeting between Riggins, Wells, and Soto. Now the Cubs pitching coach jogging back to the third base dugout wearing a blue Cubs jacket tonight. All right, now Uni B. The best arm of the 3 outfielders would be Fukudome's in right. Here's Betancourt and the pitch. He takes a breaking ball strike. 79 miles per hour, tailing away and clipping the corner. And it's 0-1. Blake DeWitt, up until this year, never played left field. In the major leagues, he's by trade a second baseman. The 0-1, a swing and a pop-up. On the infield right side. Off the bag at first. Pena infield fly in effect. And Pena makes the squeeze for out number 2. So Betancourt pops out. 2 down. And it's up to Lucroy. Lucroy celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday. Did not start, came on late after Randy Wolf, and his night ended. Now Lucroy, he takes a strike. Jonathan with a base hit. His first time. Lucroy came in batting just over 270. Base is loaded in the third. Brewers on top 2-0. Now Lucroy steps out. It's Braun at third, McGee at second, and Hart at first. Now Wells ready from the stretch. Soto wants it inside. And the 0-1 is swinging a line drive to left. Going back is DeWitt, makes the catch. Right above his left shoulder, DeWitt makes the play, and the inning is over. Now the Brewers still settle for 2 runs on 3 hits, a couple of walks. They leave the maximum after 2.5 in Chicago. Our new score, Brewers 2, Cubs nothing. Coming up a bit later on tonight, we'll take a look at our U.S. Cellular Text the Booth, Text of the Ball Game. Always take a look at those around the 7th inning or so. Please begin your text by spelling out Brew, B-R-E-W, and then send us your message to 31046. Again, that text number 31046. We'll have a chance to win tickets for an upcoming ball game simply by texting us. Visit JSOsports.com for official rules and more details. Normal text rates do apply. Reed Johnson begins the Cubs' third. Brewers lead 2-0. And Giovanni's in with a first pitch strike. Johnson fresh off the DL. He was on the disabled list with lower back spasms, but then had a scare on Saturday during a rehab appearance for the Cubs AAA affiliate in Iowa. Now the 0-1, bouncing ball to third and fair inside the line and down the left field line, bouncing off the sidewall. And Reed Johnson motors into second with a leadoff double. Cubs have their second hit. First time they put the leadoff man on tonight. Brewers lead 2-0. And here's the pitcher, Wells. Yeah, but during a rehab game on Saturday, Reed Johnson, while batting, was hit by a pitch in the head. He left the game, had to go through various tests to make sure he was not battling any concussion-like symptoms before being cleared to play. He did pass all those exams. The paperwork was filed, and Johnson able to play tonight. Now Wells showing bunt, and he lays it down foul. That one hit him in the box. And it's 0-1. How about this news in our Bank Mutual scoreboard? Justin Verlander, who already has 2 no-hitters in his career, including 1 this year, has another no-no going tonight through 7. Where are the Tigers playing? Tigers are hosting Cleveland tonight. Wells shows. Johnson leads at second, and the pitch. It's bunted, and that is a foul ball. That is a foul ball, late call by home plate umpire Alfonso Marquez. The ball did land in fair territory off the third base line, but apparently it hit Wells in the box beforehand. So Verlander with a no-hitter through 7. His first no-hitter came a couple years back against the Brewers, and he threw one earlier this year, I believe, against Toronto. And the 0-2, he bunts. It goes foul. That's a strikeout. And Wells cannot get the bunt down. Johnson remains at second. 1 out. Brewers 2, Cubs nothing. Back to the top. And Kosuke Fukudome. 4th strikeout for Gallardo tonight. Fukudome in the final year of his 4-year contract. Signed to a lot of money. Left-handed batter. Giovanni from the stretch. And the pitch. Bullseye, strike called. Fukudome's average this year is right around 300. He has performed significantly better at home. His average is much higher here in Chicago than it is away from Wrigley Field. He's been awfully tough in his career against the Crew. Now the 0-1. That's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson leads off second. 1 out. Bottom of inning number 3. Brewers lead 2-0. Gallardo from the stretch, and the 1-1 way upstairs. Lucroy reaching high and off his left shoulder to snag that pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Starlin Castro on deck. Gallardo so far tonight through 2 1/3 has thrown 36 pitches. He works off the first base side of the rubber, holds the ball near his belt, and delivers 2-1. Strike 2. Good pitch about knee high, right over the heart of the plate. And Yo got the call. Even up now, 2-2. Nyjer Morgan is shallow and shading Fukudome. Remember, he's a left-handed batter towards left center. Hart straight away and right. And the 2-2 pitch upstairs, ball 3. So full up now to the Cubs leadoff man and right fielder Kosuke Fukudome. Gallardo, long look. Lucroy wants it inside. The 3-2 pitch, line to center. Morgan coming on. He'll make the catch. 2 down. That ball hung up long enough for Nyjer. In fact, he only had to go maybe 3 steps to his left towards dead center. He made the squeeze right in front of his right shoulder for out number 2. So after that leadoff double by Johnson, Giovanni's come back to strike out Wells. Fukudome lines out to center. And now the second-year shortstop, Castro. He singled to right. Back in the first inning. We've seen Castro hit in the leadoff spot. He also can bat third. He's hitting second tonight. And the pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Lucroy, ball one. He's among the leaders in hits in the National League. He received consideration, and deservedly so, consideration for the National League Rookie of the Year award last year. Johnson leads, and the payoff pitch, bouncing ball left side to short. Betancourt, he gloves, he throws, inning over. Cubs get a leadoff double, but do nothing with it. To the fourth we go at Wrigley. Brewers 2, Cubs nothing.
Your news and information station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
After 3 at Wrigley Field here on the north side of Chicago, Brewers on top 2-0. Game 2 of this 4-game series. And before Lucroy bats, we step out. 10 seconds for ID on the Brewers Radio Network.
This is your news, weather, and traffic station, and the home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Scratch Lucroy instead. It's Gallardo here in the fourth inning. And Randy Wells, his first pitch, is high ball one. Brewers got 2 off Wells back in the third on a Ryan Braun RBI single. And a Casey McGee fielder's choice RBI. Gallardo struck out back in the second. Of his 9 career home runs, he's never homered here at Wrigley. And the 1-0, he checked his swing and took high. 2 balls and no strikes. 5 of his 9 career home runs have come at Miller Park. The 2-0 strike call. Weeks on deck, and then Nyjer Morgan. And a 2-1 inside, ball 3. And the 3-1 pitch, a check swing. It's going to cost him a strike. 3-2 the count to Gallardo. Wells only won 8 games last year. The 3-2, he walked him. Leadoff free pass to Gallardo. Already the third walk issued by Wells, and for the third time in 4 innings, the Brewers put the leadoff man on. Like we said, an inning prior, walks have been a problem thus far for Wells. He's averaging again 5 per 9 innings, and he's walked 3 already tonight. Now Weeks, he's been on twice, a couple of singles. He's scored back in the third. Wells now back in the stretch, and the pitch, and Rickey takes a letter high strike. Now the Brewers would love to tack on some insurance runs as this game progresses tonight. And if they do, all insurance runs are sponsored by Badger Mutual Insurance. You can always count on your friends at Badger Mutual Insurance to make sure your auto, home, or business is properly protected. Badger Mutual Insurance, protecting people's dreams since 1887. Rickey swings and hits a lazy fly to shallow left center. Johnson racing in, the center fielder makes the catch, and Weeks is out number 1. Gallardo back to first. 1 down. Brewers lead 2-0 here in the fourth. And now Morgan. Hey, fans, coming out for Green Week, June 20th through the 26th at Miller Park, presented by Milwaukee's energy efficiency program, TUE. Join us for green-themed features all week long. Visit brewers.com/brewinggreen for more details. Now Nyjer, he takes down low. Morgan back in the 2-hole tonight, getting signs from Eddie Cedar in the box over at third. Gallardo at first in the fourth. 1 out. Brewers by 2. And the pitch. Line foul sharply to right. That will drop on the lower concourse. A scrum for the ball. Morgan with a bunt single back in the third. He's also popped to short. Pena not really holding Gallardo on. Off the bag at first. And the 1-1. Line to right. Shallow coming on Fukudome. And he makes the catch. No, he drops it. He drops it to second. Yellow play there. And he's safe. Feet first sliding. Gallardo beat the throw from Fukudome. That's going to be a single for Niger. On a sinking liner to shallow right. Fukudome never left his feet, but that ball nearly caught right on top of his left cleat. But he could not corral it. Giovanni kind of stuck in no man's land there. Wasn't sure if he had it or not. Had to stop halfway between first and second. Then when he saw the ball did fall in, he took off and made second. You know what? Fukudome had that ball. It was literally in the webbing of his glove, but then he took one step forward and the ball just kind of rolled out. So base hit for Niger. Gallardo at second. One out, Brewers by 2, and here's Braun. And the pitch, Braun chops one foul over the third base dugout occupied by the Cubs. And it's 0-1. Now some news on our Bank Mutual scoreboard. Justin Verlander's bid for his second no-hitter this season, third of his career, is over. The Indians got a base hit in the 8th inning. As Braun takes it outside for ball 1. Who got the hit, Ken? Orlando Cabrera, who's playing second base for the Indians. As Dribble Cabrera, no relation, is the Indian shortstop, but Orlando with an 8th inning base hit to break up Verlander's no-hit bid tonight. Now the 1-1 outside and low, ball 2 to Braun. Braun is 49th run batted in back in that 2-run third. He's also fly to center. Gallardo at second. Morgan with that blazing speed at first. And the 2-1 pitch cracked to left, deep but foul, hooking out of play. That pitch was up in the zone, but Braun just a little out in front. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Braun. Brewers have a chance to build on a 2-0 lead here in the fourth. Have 2 on, only 1 out. Wells the side from Soto. He wants it outside. And the 2-2 pitch line to second. Picked by Baker. Goes second one, and he throws it away. Everybody's safe. Giovanni at third. Another poor throw by the Cubs tonight. And the Brewers have them loaded again. It was a hot shot to the right side. Jeff Baker made a clean pick, but then a poor throw, eluding Castro. They tried to get Morgan on the force, had a chance for 2 really because the ball was hit so hard. But instead they get nothing, and that will be an error on the second baseman Baker. So the third error committed by the Cubs tonight. And the Brewers again have a chance to really kind of break this game open a bit. Leading 2-0. They're loaded, only 1 out, and the batter is Fielder. Now they've changed the error to Castro, not on Baker. So give Braun a fielder's choice. Here's Fielder. He takes inside for ball 1. So the error to Castro, his second, allowing Morgan to reach second. Giovanni now at third. With 1 out, Wells to Fielder. And the 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Soto, ball 2. Fielder walked back at the third. He's also fly to right. Fielder with 1 grand slam. That came back in 2009 against the aforementioned Cleveland Indians. Now the 2-0 pitch, a swing and a drive to left. This will send DeWitt back. Withrow makes the catch. Gallardo will tag and score, so Fielder knocks in Another run. Giovanni is in. Brewers lead 3-0. 2 down. So a sacrifice for Fielder, his 59th RBI. Gallardo is in. And the Brewers lead by 3. Morgan still at second. Braun still at first. And 2 down. Here's McGee. Now activity in the Chicago bullpen. Down the left field line. Might be Rodrigo Lopez, a right-hander. And the pitch to McGee is outside. Soto contemplated a snap throw down to second but did not fire. And is Lopez warming in the Cubs bullpen. Brewers on top 3-0 here in the 4th inning. Morgan at second. Braun at first, 2 down. McGee and RBI. Back in the 3rd. Officially he's 0 for 2. From the stretch, Wells. Soto sets up outside. Runners lead. And now Wells steps off and kind of stares Morgan back towards second. Casey McGee in his young career has good numbers lifetime here at Wrigley. Hitting over .330 lifetime. 2 on, 2 down. The runners go, and the pitch is a strike. No throw made by Soto. That's a double steal. Morgan to third, Braun to second. A strike called to McGee, so it's a 1-1 count, but now a base hit could drive in 2. No throw from Soto. Give Morgan and Braun each a stolen base. And the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Soto again. Boy, he's been busy tonight. 2 balls and a strike. For Braun, his 16th steal. For Niger, his 3rd. McGee now with 25 RBIs. Brewers lead 3-0 here in the 4th with 2 out. And the 2-1 pitch in the dirt again, blocked by Soto. That's 2 pitches in a row that have not even reached the plate. And Soto again lost his mask, but again was able to knock that ball down, and he prevents a run from scoring. Now McGee's got a great count here. 3 balls and a strike. Corey Hart to follow, and if McGee gets on base, this might be it for Wells. Corey Hart would be next. Lopez should be set to go in the bullpen. And the 3-1 pitch, a swing and a drive to right down the line. That is going to drop. Foul. Just slicing foul past the Brewers bullpen in foul territory off the right field line. Foul by maybe 3 or 4 feet. So everybody resets. Morgan to third, Braun back to second. Soto out for a visit with Wells, and a 3-2 pitch upcoming to McGee. I said 3 feet, maybe fouled by 1.5 feet. Brewers lead 3-0. 2 on, 2 out here in the 4th, and the 3-2 pitch. A chopper to short, backing up Castro, sets his feet, pumps, fires in time to get McGee, and the inning is over. Now the Brewers tack on an unearned run. They get a run, a hit, an error, and leave 2 after 3.5 in Chicago. Our new score: Brewers 3, Cubs 0.
When you were 3, you had a pet salamander named Fred.
Wow.
Aramis Ramirez leads off the Cubs 4th, and here comes Giovanni's 1-0 swing and a miss. Ramirez thinking about Waveland right there. That rip, 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers 3, Cubs 0. Ramirez popped out to short back in the 1st inning. Giovanni rocks and fires. And the 1-1 down low. 2 balls and a strike. Pena on deck, and then Blink DeWitt. Ramirez, right-handed batter. Now the 2-1 swinging a bouncer foul. That will kind of shake some people up inside the Cubs third base dugout. And right off the screen that protects the players on the third base side. Two and two. The count to Ramirez. Giovanni the sign and the pitch outside, ball 3. The Brewers scoring 3 runs so far tonight. The Cubs have committed 3 errors. RBIs from Braun, McGee, and Fielder so far tonight. And the payoff, a swing and a drive to right center. This will send Hart back, but the wind will knock it down. Shy of the track, he's got it. Round number 1. Anything out to center or to right, it will be knocked down by that wind blowing in and off the lake. And Ramirez is on number 1. And here's Pena, who struck out back in the first inning. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation, and 16 years he called baseball for the University of Texas. And the payoff pitch, he walked him. Pena took it high. First walk issued by Gallardo tonight. Cubs have a man on, 1 out. 4th inning, Brewers 3, Cubs nothing. And the batter is Blake DeWitt. Yeah, but Moreland, for 16 years before coming to Chicago, was announcing University of Texas Longhorns baseball. And why that's significant for the Brewers is that their first overall pick in last week's draft, Taylor Youngman, is at Texas. There's a pitch high, and this is going to bring out Lucroy for a meeting with Giovanni. Ball 1 to Blake DeWitt. But yeah, Moreland saw Youngman pitch frequently. In fact, he first met him when Taylor was 14 years old, so he offered a great scouting report on the kind of pitcher and the kind of person Youngman is. And you can hear that interview again, jsonline.com/Brewers, or also wrote a blog about that tonight on the same page. You can read at your discretion and at your leisure. As Giovanni steps off and kind of stares Pena back. DeWitt batting. Former Dodger. He flied to left in the second. And the pitch outside. Change of pace there. 2 balls and no strikes. DeWitt kind of thrust it into the left field position with Alfonso Soriano on the DL. Although Soriano might be back, he might be activated for tomorrow night's ball game. And the 2-0, ball 3 outside. Giovanni missed on the outside corner. He's fallen behind DeWitt. He just walked Pena. Now a 3-0 count to DeWitt. Gallardo off the first base side. Pena short lead, 1 out. And the 3-0. There's a strike. Came back with a fastball at 94. Gallardo now at 63 pitches. Through 3 1/3. Double play could end the inning. The 3-1, a chopper to short, could be 2. Betancourt underhand second one. Ricky's relay is not in time. DeWitt beat it out. That second bounce to Betancourt gave DeWitt a chance. Also, he's a left-handed batter, so he gains an extra step or 2 out of the batter's box. The Brewers do get 1. Pena out at second on the force. But DeWitt beat the relay throw from Ricky. Give DeWitt a fielder's choice. Pena out at second, 2 down, 3-0 Brewers. And the batter is Giovanni Soto. And the pitch, breaking ball, strike, 0-1. On our Bank Mutual scoreboard tonight, the Cardinals beating up on Washington 6-2. That game is now through 6 in D.C. The 0-1 is swinging a foul back. Albert Pujols' homer tonight for St. Louis is 15th. As you mentioned earlier, the Brewers and Cardinals right now tied Atop the Central, both teams at 38 and 29. Cubs are 11 back. Reds are 3.5 back. Pirates in 4th place, 5 back. The 0-2 a check and the appeal to first. He went around. It's strike 3 called. So Soto is gone. Giovanni strikes out his 5th Chicago batter. And the inning is over. Cubs don't score, get a walk, leave 1. To the 5th we go. Brewers 3, Cubs nothing.
Information station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
We have played 4 here in Chicago. Game 2 of this 4-game series. Cubs winning 1-0 last night. Brewers on top by 3 after 4 tonight. Going to tack on a few more here in the 5th inning. Back to call the next 2. The man that will be leading tonight's 7th inning stretch. Once again, here's Bob.
All right, Corey, thank you. And it is Corey Hart to lead things off against Randy Wells. Opening pitch in the 5th. He tried to bunt and fouled it for a strike. Hart, Betancourt, and then Lucroy. Cool, breezy evening in Chicago now. Talking about rain later on tonight and possibly tomorrow morning. Here comes Wells. In tight, belt high to even the count. Well, how do you make a perfect brat? That's easy. You start with using your sausage. Add a little crisp kraut. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. Put that all in one of those soft pretzel buns. Now you got yourself a meal, folks. Nothing beats the great taste of summer in Wisconsin. Here's the pitch to Corey. Got him looking on the outside corner. Alfonso Marquez has been pretty generous with the outside corner tonight. Here's Betancourt with a single and a pop-up. He came to bat back in the 3rd with the bases loaded and popped up. Singled back in the 2nd and was stranded. Here it is, too low a ball, and it's 1-0. Baseball being brought to you in part by the Miller Lite aluminum pint. Betancourt, a bouncer to 3rd, past a diving Aramis Ramirez, and he's got his 2nd hit. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. Lucroy tonight has singled on the infield and lined to left field. He ended that bases loaded threat in the 3rd when he lined out to Blake DeWitt. Game 3 in the series is tomorrow, and we'll have it for you on the Brewers Radio Network. Down low and inside, it's 1 ball and no strikes. And then on Thursday afternoon, what has pretty much been a standard here at Wrigley Field forever and ever. Daytime baseball. Throw to first, runners back. Before they put the lights in here, that's all they had. Daytime baseball. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch. Here it is. In tight, letter high, 2-0. Now, there's a lot of talk about fixing this place up. And it's going to take a lot of work. And a lot of know-how. Here's the pitch. It's low, 3-0. And to figure out the right time to do it, where the money's going to come from to do it, you could start in the press boxes with dynamite. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside corner is strike, 3-1.
Yeah, a little tight up here, huh?
Oh, man. This is the worst. Who took a shot at Wrigley Field today? One of their own writers.
Yeah, Rick Morrissey in the Sun-Times.
Ooh, boy. I mean, it's a great field to play on. The field is great. There's no doubt about that. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Lucroy sends a fly to right. Betancourt is going to head back to first, and he'll make it. He tagged second base. I don't know if he re-tagged the bag going back or not. He did. So Lucroy is gone. Here comes Gallardo. But yeah, they've got to do something with the locker rooms here. It's uncomfortable for the players, very small, and you don't need a lot, but this place is more like a kennel. Did they take down the netting they had? No, they don't. It's still here. It's right above us. Here's a pitch, swinging a bouncer to Starlin Castro. He'll go to second to get the force to end the inning. They had to put netting up under the rooftop here because chunks of concrete were falling down from above, and it was becoming very dangerous. Unless you had the lucky ticket number and you got hit by one, you won a prize. After 4 1/2, it's 3-0 Brewers.
Does it pay to
Well, if you're wondering what's going on in the area, check out the latest in news, entertainment, business, and sports each day in your Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel or at jsonline.com. Jeff Baker leads things off against Giovanni Gallardo, and his opening pitch is hit foul for a strike. Now, this place could use a lot of work here and Fenway Park. We're talking with Sean Markham tonight before the game. We were talking about Fenway Park. That's the Brewers' next city on this 7-game trip. The pitch, too low, popping away from Lucroy. And Fenway Park has made some major changes, renovations. What they need to work on is the clubhouse at Fenway. Very, very small. And here, the same holds true. The visitors' clubhouse. I mean, you got 25 guys getting undressed. It gets a little testy when you're in that kind of close quarters. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, too low, 2 balls and a strike. Now the Cubs have a new clubhouse. They occupied a dungeon down the left field line, but and they had to walk on the field all the way down into the left field corner. A strike, and it's 2-2, and then out an exit door down there and up into their clubhouse. Now they just can walk through the dugout. It's not all that big. It's not spacious, but it's better. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and that takes care of Baker. And here comes Reed Johnson, who had a leadoff double and was stranded in the third. Yeah, the shower facilities. I mean, it's as I said before, it's a little ancient. And the clubhouse people here, the visiting clubhouse people at Wrigley Field, do a heck of a job to make the players comfortable, and they have to have food, which they get. Here's the pitch. Reed Johnson, bouncer, backhanded McGee at third, and the throw takes care of Reed Johnson. Now it is Randy Wells, a strikeout victim his first time up. But again, the playing field is nice. They've extended and expanded the seating areas in center. I mean, going back into the 60s when I was here as a visiting player, there were no seats out in center field. I mean, it was a background. That's what it was, a batting background, and it was good. And on those days when they would sell Wrigley Field out, they would put people out there, and it was really, really tough to hit. Looking into that background of white shirts and whatever other regalia people were wearing, it was really hard. But on a normal day at Wrigley back then, and they weren't drawing very well, it was easy to see the pitch. Strike 2, 1-2 on Wells with 2 down. But the bleacher area here is pretty nice now. Scoreboard is ancient, but it gives you what you need. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncer. Hit near second. Betancourt has that and throws him plenty of time to end the inning. And I guess that's part of the charm of Wrigley Field if you're unlucky enough to like those kinds of charms. Anyway, 5 are complete now, and it remains the Brewers 3 and the Cubs nothing. The Brewers half of inning number 6. They lead by a score of 3-0. And the batter will be Ricky Weeks. Ricky tonight, a couple of base hits and a fly ball to center. He's also scored a run. Here's the pitch. It is a strike on the inside corner. Nothing in one on Rick. Morgan to follow and then Braun. Too low and off the outside corner, and it's even. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ricky popped it up. And who wants it? Starlin Castro right near the bag at second. He's got it. Ricky is retired. One up, one down. Here is Nigel Morgan. Morgan tonight has a couple of base hits. Takes one off the outside corner. One ball and no strikes. Here comes Wells. That one is right down the middle. Even at a ball and a strike. Here it is. Morgan drives it to right and deep and playable and going to be caught by Fukudome. Another day. That one's out of here. Morgan gone. Here comes Braun. Now, getting back to Wrigley Field, you know, they've talked about the Cubs playing over at the home of the White Sox. That would be devastating for this area. This area around Wrigley Field relies heavily on what happens here during the summer months. It really does. This is a big part of the north side of Chicago. And the pitch bunted back towards Wells. The throw is in time to retire Braun. And the Brewers' 6th inning is over. 3 up and 3 down after 5 1/2. It remains 3-0 Milwaukee.
Wisconsin storms can happen in an instant. Are you ready? We are. When weather's at its worst, depend on the Storm Team forecasters.
Check in often so you don't miss a thing.
On News Radio 620 WTMJ.
We move to the Cubs' 6th inning. And Kosuke Fukudome leads off. And takes a strike from Giovanni. Count even now at 1-1. Here he comes again, and that one missed a little bit high. Boy, it looks an awful lot like rain around here the last few minutes. They said it's coming late tonight. The wind is really kicking up. Blowing out of the east, the pitch. Fukudome, a strike. Looking, and it's 2-2. Giovanni Gallardo leading 3-0, and now Fukudome steps out. Now all set to go. And here it is. Check swing, strike 3. Fukudome is gone. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He came in hitting .297. But yeah, if the Cubs had to, if they had to go over and play on the south side, while they did a major job, I don't know where else they could go. I don't know what they would do to really do any kind of a job at Wrigley Field without closing a portion of it somewhere. Something would have to be closed. Upper grandstand, I don't know if they could do that and survive. I guess they could. Starlin Castro is in there now with 1 out. Here's the pitch by Giovanni, and Castro had a cut and fouled it back. But as I said, the north side of Chicago relies heavily on what takes place here at Wrigley Field each and every summer. A lot of restaurants and establishments around here that would be absolutely devastated. Here's the pitch, too low and getting by Lucroy, and it's even at a ball and a strike. And I don't know if the Cubs would want to play in a park occupied by the White Sox anyway. There's a heck of a rivalry between the north side and the south side here in Chicago. Here comes Yo, and that one's a check swing. Did he go? He did. That call made by Ed Hickox. Ball 1 and strike 2.
I think you bring up a great point about the neighborhood that is Wrigleyville.
Yeah,
and the economy that thrives on the Cubs around here.
You bet. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Castro, and he sends it foul. But, you know, it's getting to the point where, and it's not the fans so much. The comfort of the fans at Wrigley is, it's always been, hey, it's a baseball park. You know what? I mean, you're not looking for lounge chairs and easy chairs and anything else. I mean, it's a place to come for a couple of hours and watch big league baseball. But I think the infrastructure of Wrigley Field itself is losing some of its charm because of all of the problems they have. The pitch, Castro is swinging a miss, popping away from Lucroy. He picks it up and throws in time, and that takes care of Castro. That is the 8th strikeout for Gallardo tonight. And here is Aramis Ramirez. But, I mean, I love the park itself. The field. The playing field is as good as there is. Grass and, the ivy in the spring looks like, something out of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Forest area around his house. Outside a ball, 1-0. But, when the ivy is in bloom and everything is looking nice, summertime, it's a nice place. And it's history here in Chicago. That's the big part of it. The pitch, Ramirez, a strike, and he took it. 1-1 now on the Cub third baseman.
I also think, too, right now, this is such a popular topic in Chicago because the Cubs are not winning.
Yeah.
If they're winning, nobody cares.
You're right. 2 balls and a strike. And, the city of Chicago and others are having enough problems economically without worrying about where you're going to put a new ballpark or what you're going to do with it. The pitch, too low, 3 balls and a strike. People that come here every day, season ticket holders, whatever, they're going to tell you Wrigley Field's fine. They will. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and he walked him. And the Cubs get a runner with 2 down. And the batter is Carlos Pena with a strikeout and a walk. You know, the new ballparks that were built for teams a few years ago, the new one they're getting down in Florida just to get out of a football stadium, and hopefully that's going to help that franchise draw some more people. But then you look at the clubs that are in trouble. Citi Field in New York, the home of the Mets. And a lot of fans and a lot of people who don't like baseball and could care less about baseball were upset that that field was built for New York when we were having all those economic problems, when times were so tough and the bailout money and everything else. Here's the pitch. It's too low and it's ball 1. Carlos Pena 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. But yeah, the Mets, the Dodgers, I mean, there's a storied franchise. We talked about that last night. The pitch, swinging a fly ball, hit to right. This ball is going to make the seats. The Dodgers, they're not looking for a new stadium. They're looking for money to pay people, pay their players, pay their front office people. But it's a subject here. I talk about this place because I played here, and I mean, the one thing that's new since I've been here, at least the one thing, I talked about the Cub clubhouse. I haven't been in there, but the dugouts. Now, the dugouts when I played here were actually dugouts. They were dirt. When you came out of the clubhouse proper, too low, and it's 2 balls and a strike, you walk down a stairway across a ramp that goes over the concourses here at Wrigley Field, then down some stairs and into a dugout. That's what it was. It was like a root cellar. It was dirt. The 2-1 pitch by Yo is in there, and it's 2-2. And then when you got into the dugout, you know, it was concrete and benches. But right behind that, it was absolute dirt. And that has changed today. The players now have a nice place to sit and watch the game, and enough room where you're not, you know, touching each other when you sit and watch. A few new seats have been added down below. 2-2, swinging the foul back, and it's full now, 3-2. So that was a plus on the player side. And lower box seats that have been added, and the bullpens have been moved a little bit further down each line, and, you know, extra seats. But that's basically it for Wrigley. Upper deck was extended a little bit. 2-2. Hey, struck him out looking. Pena is gone, and Gallardo strikes out the side. 6 are complete. 3-0 Brewers.
In Chicago, game 2 of this 4-game series. Brewers on top by a score of 3-0. Cubs make a pitching change. Before we talk about him, let's step out. 10 seconds for ID on the Brewers Radio Network.
And the home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Now throwing for Chicago is right-hander Rodrigo Lopez. He was acquired back in late May from the Braves in a minor league deal. He actually made a start for the Cubs back on May 30th, but primarily has been used out of the bullpen. He's a right-hander. Brewers on top 3-0. Fielder McGee Hart to bat in the 7th. Leading by 3. Lopez ready, and Fielder takes a slider for a strike. Bob Uecker will sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here as soon as this half inning ends, and we will carry that for you. It's become tradition every time the Brewers come to town. Uecker will sing at least once, and Prince takes down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Uecker will sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here in a little bit, and we'll have that for you live. Bases empty, nobody out. Lopez the fielder, and the 1-1 swing and a miss. Change of pace, 83 miles per hour, 1-2. Here's the line on Randy Wells. He went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, 2 earned. The 1-2 is high. 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. Fielder with a sac fly and an RBI back in the 4th. That up the lead to 3. And the 2-2 pitch bounced foul back behind the plate, bouncing off the screen. Brewers got 2 in the 3rd inning on a Ryan Braun RBI single, and then a Casey McGee fielder's choice RBI. And then tacked on a Badger Mutual Insurance run on that fielder sac fly in the 4th. Shift is on, and the 2-2 inside, kind of staggering Prince out of the batter's box. That's ball 3. Second baseman Baker is deep, playing on the grass in right, and Castro, the shortstop, is a good 20 feet deep on the grass in right center. And the 3-2, he walked him. Fielder draws a leadoff walk. Second time Prince has walked tonight. So he is on, nobody out, and the batter is Casey McGee. McGee 0 for 3 with his 25th RBI, coming in that 2-run 3rd. Corey Hart on deck. Rodrigo Lopez, a right-hander, looks in. Soto sends the sign from the stretch, and the pitch, fastball strike, and it's 0-1. 89 miles per hour, that fastball from Lopez. Lopez has been around. The kick and the 0-1, a swing and a foul back. That was off the hands. And McGee behind 0-2. Lopez has pitched previously for the Padres, Orioles, Rockies, Phillies, Diamondbacks. And now here in Chicago. And the 0-2 pitch outside to Casey, ball 1. Zambrano and Narveson tomorrow night. And Thursday afternoon, it'll be Greinke and Garza. 2 off-season acquisitions by both teams. And the 1-2 pitch, McGee chops foul over the third base dugout, skipping about 2 rows back. Just another thought, too, about Wrigley Field, and I'm curious to get Bob's take on this. I'll say that they tore down Wrigley Field and the Cubs just moved out of the city. Now the 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. Say they, moved to a western suburb, if you will, where they had, a ton of room to build a ballpark from scratch. I'm not sure they would still be the big draw. Even though attendance is down this year here at Wrigley, there's still a good draw. I don't know if they would still be that way if they left Wrigley Field, they left the Chicagoland area. The 2-2 pitch, line to right, that's a base hit. Fielder down to second as Fukudome wanted to fire it back in, but nobody was covering the bag. Prince had to wait an extra second or two just to make sure that ball got by. It was hit on a line to the left of the second baseman Baker. And the Brewers in business once again, 2 on, nobody out, leading 3-0. And here's Corey Hart. Yeah, but if the Cubs just left the city, would they still be the big draw that they are? I mean, in the summertime, you get to now and into July and August, people come in and take tours of the city, and Wrigley Field is on their list. And Hart takes a strike, but if you move the Cubs out of the city, I don't know if they would still be the big draw that they are. 2 on, nobody out. Lopez to Hart. The side and the 0-1 pitch, swing, and he missed. That got a piece of Soto's left shin guard. And it's 0-2. I believe the Washington Nationals have rallied. And the 0-2 pitch, a check, and a slider is taken for ball one. On our Bank Mutual scoreboard, the Cardinals had a 6-1 lead in the 6th inning. The Nationals have rallied. They now lead 8-6. The 1-2, Hart strikes out swinging. One down. Yeah, they're still batting in the 7th inning. Washington with an 8-6 lead over the Cardinals. It was Jaime Garcia starting for the Cardinals tonight. Not sure if the Nationals rallied off him or their bullpen, but Washington now leads in the 7th at home, 8-6 over St. Louis. Miguel Bautista gave up some runs. Garcia gave up some runs. Brewers bullpen is active for the first time. Now Betancourt, and the pitch is outside, ball one. Big strikeout there. Hart was trying to at least move up the runners. Fielder still at second. McGee at first. Now one out. Brewers on top 3-0 is Marco Estrada. He's throwing in the Brewers bullpen down the right field line as we speak. The 1-0 slap foul off the screen back behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Several times tonight the Brewers have had chances to kind of break this thing open. They have left 9 men on base so far tonight. Still lead by 3, trying to tack on some Badger Mutual Insurance runs here. 2 on, 1 down, and the 1-1 outside, ball 2. Looking ahead to the Cubs 7th, it'll be DeWitt, Soto, and Baker to bat. And again, Estrada is warming in the bullpen. Now Lopez ready, and the 2-1. Strike 2 came back with a fastball at 88. Even up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Betancourt tonight has a couple of hits, has not scored. Now 3 for 6 in this series. Pumps that bat off his right shoulder. And the 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Ramirez has it. Steps on the bag for 1. Fires across. That's a double play. 5-3. Twin killing ends the Brewers 7th. They do not score. Get a hit. A walk. Lead 1. We stretch. Time to sing. Here's Bob Uecker.
Hey, folks. 0-1.
A little late coming back. Blake DeWitt batting 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Brewers on top 3-0. Giovanni sitting with 9 strikeouts right now. Rocks and fires, and the 2-2 pitch. Line foul to left, slicing out of play. And we'll do it again. Estrada still throwing in the bullpen. Gallardo, 9 punch-outs. Has not allowed a run. Only 2 hits for Chicago tonight. DeWitt is 0 for 2. Again, the 2-2 pitch. High, ball 3. Soto on deck, and then Jeff Baker. Brewers on top 3-0. Here in the 7th in Chicago. Gallardo over 100 pitches now for the night. And the payoff. He got him. Make it 10 punch outs for Yo. DeWitt strikes out. 1 down in the 7th. Bases empty. Brewers on top by 3. And here is Giovanni Soto. That was pitch number 105 for Gallardo. So a 10 strikeout performance from the Brewers right-hander tonight. That's the 11th time he has done that in his career. At least 10. A swing and a drive to left and deep. Braun going back at the track, at the wall. That ball's gone. Home run for Giovanni Soto. And the shutout is over. With 1 swing of the bat, Soto goes deep to left, and the Cubs are on the board. Brewers now lead 3-1. Still 1 out here in the 7th inning. 5th home run for Soto, 15th RBI in the year. He got a fastball about belt high, tailing back in, and Soto crushed it to left. 3-1 crew. Giovanni's still throwing. And now Jeff Baker. And the pitch. He sends one to right. Shallow. Coming in is Hart. He'll call off Morgan. And Corey's got it. Round number 2. Take a look at our U.S. Cellular. Text the booth. Text the ball game tonight. Now Charlie in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, listening tonight, texting tonight. He asked us to carry Bob's rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and Charlie, just for you, we did just that. Great job as always by you. Got a huge hand. Three-one crew, 2 down, base is empty. Here's Johnson, and the Cubs center fielder takes inside for ball 1. The pitcher spot is due up next. And there is activity right now in the Chicago bullpen. A right-hander. Might be Chris Carpenter. The kick and the 1-0 pitch. A swing and a pop-up. Playable back is second. Weeks back pedals into shallow right center. Morgan calls him off, and Niger makes the squeeze to end the inning. The Cubs get a run, though, on Soto's home run. They leave none. To the 8th we go at Wrigley. Our new score, Brewers 3, Cubs 1. After 7, Brewers on top 3-1. Back to take you home. 8th is on, and so is Bob Uecker.
All right, Corey, thank you. And Jonathan Lucroy leads things off, and this is Rodrigo Lopez, and the opening pitch is outside, ball 1.
Great job, as always.
Thank you, man. Nice to see Lenny Casper and Bob Brenly. Sat next door with your longtime friend and great friend of mine, too, Pat Hughes. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lucroy and his new partner, Keith Moreland. Talking about the late Ron Santo with Brenly and Lenny Casper. I miss that guy. You know, after you've been here for so long, and the pitch, Lucroy took a strike, 1 and 2, and you look next door, and there's a new face over there. I'm happy for Keith Moreland. He's a good dude and doing a good job too. But when you've looked over there and seen somebody for such a long time, and that guy was Ron Santo, and a good friend, and a guy that I played against, and here's the pitch, low and away, and it's 2-2 now. I still think of Ron Santo a lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Luke took it low, and it's full now, 3-2.
Yeah, I didn't notice it as much when the Cubs came to Miller Park in April, but first time coming back here.
Yeah,
when you look to your right,
yeah, he's in a different booth. He's down the road a little piece from where we are at Miller Park, but here he sat right next door to me, and yeah, you were over there. You worked over there. Here's the 3-2. Lucroy took it low, and he draws a leadoff walk. Yeah, when you know somebody, and I'm going back to the early 60s with Santo when I first met him, and that's a long time, you know, to know somebody and to be around him and enjoy him. We had, in the last couple of years that Santo was here, I had some good long talks with him, and we both had little health issues at the time, and I'm still in amazement at Ron Santo after he lost his toes and then his feet and then his both legs to diabetes. He played with diabetes throughout his whole career and never made a big deal about it. We'll talk more as a pitching change is made here. Back after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
Brewers Radio Network announcer Corey Provis here for Bank Mutual. Extra effort can help get a win, and Bank Mutual has several checking accounts that can help you with great extra features like online banking, e-statements, check cards, and free ATMs that let you access your account for extra convenience and flexibility. Bank Mutual helps you go green with paperless options. Visit one of Bank Mutual's 79 convenient locations or go to bankmutual.com. Bank Mutual. Trust. The feeling is mutual.
Lincoln Contractor Supply and Fabco Rents, the CAD rental store. 2 names Wisconsin contractors trust for tools and equipment, sales and rentals. You're covered from cat skid steers, aerial equipment, and work tools to job tools and supplies. Think Wacker Neuson, famous compaction equipment, pumps, generators, light towers, power trowels, and more. Think Wacker Neuson at Lincoln today. Lincoln Contractor Supply and Fabco Rents, the CAD rental store. Working side by side, serving Wisconsin contractors with 11 statewide Alliance locations.
What do the Milwaukee Brewers and Toyota have in common? Loyal fans. As a matter of fact,
James Russell, a left-hander, is on for Chicago. And Craig Counsell is the pinch hitter for Giovanni Gallardo on a throw to first. And Jonathan Lucroy is back. To finish up the story on Santo, as I said, I miss him today, and I'll miss him as long as I'm around and coming here to Wrigley Field. But he's a longtime friend and one of the most popular. Here's the pitch, bunt attempt. It's picked up and fouled by Soto, one of the most popular, not only sports figures, but just people here in Chicago. And, of course, around baseball. The thing that amazed a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't know that Ron was a diabetic when he played in the big leagues. And never said a thing about it. He just went out and played. I still think he belongs in Cooperstown myself. I always will. 1 ball and 1 strike on Counsell. He's got numbers that are equal, if not better, than some other people in Cooperstown. 1 ball and 1 strike on Craig. Ramirez creeping up from third. The pitch, he shows bunt and took one inside. That one almost hit him. Russell is in his 22nd game. He's won 1, lost 5. And his earned run average is over 5, almost 5.5. From the stretch, here it is. Counsell bunts to Ramirez. He'll pick it up and play for Craig. And on the play, Lucroy winds up at second. Perfect sacrifice by Counsell. 5-4 if you go along with us. And the top of the order is coming up now, Ricky Weeks. And we get another U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen. Back after this on the Brewers Radio Network. We're in the 8th inning. Brewers 3, Cubs 1. We move to Chris Carpenter now for Chicago. And Ricky Weeks is going to be the first man to face him. James Russell worked to one batter. That was Counsell. And the sacrifice. Now Ricky with a chance to add one on. A Badger Mutual Insurance run. Base hit here could score Lucroy. Carpenter deals. Ricky lines a base hit to left. Into the corner. This is going to be an extra base hit. Lucroy is in easily, and Ricky Weeks, as he did back in the first inning on the first pitch he saw from Randy Wells, he lined that to left. First time Carpenter tries him, he throws a fastball, and Ricky jumps all over it. It's a run-scoring double, and the Brewers now lead 4-1. So Rodrigo Lopez works an inning plus. He allowed a hit and a couple of walks, swing and a miss by Nigel Morgan. One run, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout for Lopez. Now Carpenter for Nigel Morgan. The pitch. Swinging a liner. It is a foul ball down the left field line. 2 strikes and nothing on Niger Morgan. Carpenter ready. Ricky's got a big lead. Here's the pitch. Morgan a swing and a foul. Third base side, still 0-2 on him. Niger Morgan tonight, 2 out of 4 with a run scored. And the pitch. Look out off the inside, missing. 1-2. Brewers trying to even the series at a game apiece. Big effort last night by Ryan Dempster. The pitch. Swinging a foul again. Niger got on top of that fastball and fouled it back. Still 1-2 on him. Ricky Weeks with a run-scoring double, his 30th RBI of the year. Ricky tonight, 3 out of 5. An RBI and a run scored. Here it is. Morgan strikes out swinging. First strikeout for Carpenter. Here comes Ryan Braun. He's got a base hit and an RBI. He has also picked up a stolen base tonight. His 16th of the year. The stretch by Carpenter. Here it is. Braun took a strike on a good fastball. That one at 94 miles per hour. This guy throws good. From the stretch. Here he comes again. Braun fouled it back. High fastball. He got a piece of it. Two strikes and nothing on Ryan Braun. Runner at second, Ricky Weeks. And on another one. Big Badger Mutual Insurance run out there. Badger Mutual's been serving people for a long, long time, protecting people's dreams. 1887. Down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carpenter, new sign, is ready to work. Here it is. Low and inside on Brawdy. Ball 2, strike 2. Prince fielder to follow. Cubs bullpen is quiet. Giovanni Soto with a new sign. Ricky's got a huge lead at second. Nobody close to him out there. Carpenter draws it back. Here it is. Braun sends another one foul. Still 2-2 on the Brewers left fielder. National League's leading vote getter to the All-Star game to be played in Arizona coming up next month. Vote often. Vote for your favorite Brewers player, folks. Ricky Weeks, Prince fielder. The 2-2, swinging a bouncer, hit to short. Starlin Castro gobbles that one up and throws out Braun, and the inning is over. The Brewers get one, though. Big run on a run-scoring double by Weeks. He's left stranded, and at the end of 7 1/2 innings of play from Chicago, it's the Brewers 4 and the Cubs 1. Marco Estrada is on now for the Crew. Estrada will face Tony Campana to lead things off. Campana batting for the first time. Part of the double switch by the Cubs. And here comes Estrada's first offering. He tried to bunt and fouled it. Strike one. Campana, not a very big guy, but he can run. Estrada deals again, swing and a miss. Beautiful change of pace. Campana appearing in only his 22nd game for the Cubs. Been the bat 43 times with 10 hits, swings and bounces to fielder. And Estrada is there, and the race was on. He can run. That made it a close play. He's got good speed, that guy. But he's going to have to do more than run. One up and one down. And here is Kosuke Fukudome. 2 strikeouts and a line drive to Sutter. Now the pitch by Marco. Swinging a drive into Sutter. Morgan back, still going, and can't make the play. That one bouncing into the net out there. And Fukudome's got a double. That ball was hit hard. To hit him that deep tonight, you really got to juice him. Balls that are hit to Sutter, not affected by the wind as much as anything hit to right. The wind is coming out of the, look at the flags out in center. Looks like out of the almost the southeast, which is from right to left, which really helped the ball hit by Soto, although he hit it well. But that one by Fukudome was kissed too. Here's Starlin Castro, 1 for 3. Single, ground out, strikeout for him. Now Estrada. Here he comes. Castro, a strike on the outside corner. New sign from Jonathan Lucroy. Outfield slightly to right for Castro. Guy's a good-looking hitter. He hits them all over. He'll knock one down the right field line. There's one hit to the gap in left center, and it's going to be an extra base hit for Castro. He'll be at second with a double, and it's 4-2 now. Cubs coming back-to-back two-base hits. Estrada left that one hanging up there, and Starlin Castro jumped all over it. What I was going to say was he can hit him to right. He'll hit him down the right field line. He'll pull him down the left field line, and that time he went to the gap in left center. He's not a big power guy. He's got some pop, but he's more of a line drive and a gap hitter. And here's Aramis Ramirez. And the Brewers bullpen is busy with Zach Braddock getting up out there. 4-2 now. Brewers lead, and Ramirez 0 for 2 is in there. Estrada ready. Here he comes. It's a little bit low and off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Estrada in his 18th game. He's 1-1, lost 3. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. Even at a ball and a strike on Ramirez. Estrada's ERA a tad over 4. Outfield playing Ramirez dead pull. Morgan well into left center. And the pitch driven to left, and this game could be tied and is. There was no doubt about that one. Estrada left one upstairs, and Ramirez jumped all over it. That ball about thigh high, and Ron Renicky wants Zach Braddock to face Carlos Pena. Here he comes. Estrada leaves. That is the 5th home run given up by Marco Estrada. Back after this on the Brewers Radio Network. Another U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen. All right, Zach Braddock is on to work now, and Carlos Pena will be the first man that he faces. Right-hander Tim Dillard is up in the Brewers bullpen, and Carlos Marmol is up for the Cubs. One out. Cubs have tied it on a double by Castro and a 2-run home run by Ramirez. Here's Pena with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Braddock in his 17th game, and Carlos Pena waiting for Braddock to get what he wants. Now Pena back in there, and Zach Braddock finally set to work. Here he comes. Pena swings and fouls it back. 0-1. One strike on Pena. 3 in for Chicago. Now from the stretch. Zach back with a swinging curveball. He missed it. Pena had a huge cut at that one. Had a little bend on it. 2 strikes on him. Pena's got 9 home runs. Average below 220. Blake DeWitt is due next. Braddock set to work. And here he comes. Swinging a foul back. Pena on that 0-2 fastball. 92 miles per hour. Dillard is up and ready, and so is Marmol. Marmol got the save in last night's game. 13 save for the Cub right-hander last night. Brewers with a 3-0 lead until the Cubs got one in the 7th on Soto's home run. Gallardo can't win this one. The pitch by Zach. Big swing and a bouncer hit to Ricky. Chest high hop has that and throws out Pena. That is the 2nd out in the inning, and here comes Blake DeWitt. He has flat out, bounced out, and struck out. The Brewers have stranded a ton of runners tonight. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th. 1 in the 5th, another in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th. Braddock for DeWitt, swings and he fouls it back, strike 1. Cubs had 3 hits, including that home run by Soto, coming into the 8th inning. And now a ball has been called on Braddock for going to his mouth. Can't do that when you're on the mound. Can't go to your mouth for, get a little moisture on your fingers, a little feeling. Unless the umpires deem it cool enough, swinging a foul, popping away from Lucroy. If the umpires say it's cool enough, go to your mouth because your hands really get dry. And if you're not perspiring enough, which you normally do on a night like this, it's cool, but it's good enough to work up a sweat. But when they tell you before the game, you can't go to your mouth. Otherwise, it's going to be a ball called. But it's 1-2 on Blake to win. And Braddock wheels and deals again, and he just missed the outside corner. 2-2. Lucroy the sign. Outfield not too deep. And about as straight away as you can play. Blake to win. He waits. Here it is. Swinging a pop fly, twisting foul, and out of play. That one going to wind up right down next door. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs have wiped out a 3-0 lead and a 4-1 lead with 3 here in the 8th inning. Tonight's crowd, another dandy here at Wrigley Field. Last night a little bit bigger. Tonight it's 39,151. Now Zach Braddock cranks it up. A check swing. Did he go? I think he did. Yep. That call made by Brian O'Nora, third base umpire. And the Cubs' 8th inning is over. But they hit the crew with 3. And to the 9th we move with Marmol coming on to work. Brewers 4, Cubs 4. Wind has died down a little bit. Still blowing from that right field corner to left. Now Marmol. Here it is. Low and away. He shot the corner and missed. Ball 3 and strike 2 to Prince. Fielder's up there with one thought, and that's to hit it as hard as he can. And Mike Quaddy, I believe, has been ejected from the game. And protesting that last call by the home plate umpire, Alfonso Marquez. And Quaddy has been ejected from the game. When he came out of the dugout, he called timeout. He didn't have to do that. He was already being called for a timeout. He's gone. It's still 3-2 on Fielder. And here's the pitch. Fielder sends another one foul. Now, you can go out and argue pretty much anything except strikes. Can't do that. And when he got on Alfonso Marquez from the dugout, he was adios. Here it is. Fielder drives it to center and deep, but it's playable and going to be caught by Campana, and there's one out. That shows you how hard Fukudome hit that ball. That carried it to the wall because Fielder really hit that one too. Here's Casey McGee. He's 1 for 4 and has an RBI. Been a long time since McGee homered. I believe it was back on the 20th of May. And the pitch to him. High and outside, ball one. Casey with 4 home runs on the year. Driven in 25. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. That's what he was trying to do. Hit one out of here. Ball one and strike one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside and high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Now the stretch. Here it is. That's a strike. It is 2-2 now from Marmol. The right-hander ready. Here it is. Casey sends a bullet past Starlin Castro, and the Brewers have a runner for Corey Hart. Hart tonight 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He's due. And we are going to get a pinch runner now for Casey McGee. He leaves with his second hit tonight. Good sign. McGee back on the hit streak side. Gomez, the pinch runner. All right, Corey Hart. Marmol flips one to first, and Gomez is back. Gomez has stolen 14. Been caught once. There he goes. A throw by Soto. They'll never get him. Gomez, in about that third stride that he takes, he's in high gear. Like all runners, guys who can really fly, I mean, it doesn't take them long to get full stride. I would imagine that kid playing in center for the Cubs, same way. 2-3 steps, man, you're wide open. Now Corey Hart with a chance to give the Brewers the lead. Swings away and fouls away. Even at a ball and a strike. When you're catching and there's guys like Gomez and mentioned Campana and the likes, Ryan Braun, who runs very well, the pitch. Instead, Marmol backs off. You know they're going to run. All you can hope to do is catch it cleanly, get it out of your glove as quick as you can, and let her go. And the pitch. Corey fouls again. Ball one and strike 2 on him. Had a good pitch to hit that time. Unieski Betancourt to follow. Now the stretch. Here it is. Corey strikes out swinging. Third time for Corey Hart tonight. And now it's up to Betancourt. That ball was right on the outside corner. Made a good pitch, and Corey had a cut and missed it. Runner at second. Carlos Gomez, 15th stolen base of the year for him. For the Crew, number 47. And the pitch. Betancourt took that one down low and outside. Now make that 48 in the stolen base department for Milwaukee. John Axford is up in the Brewers bullpen. Pitch to Betancourt. That's outside, and it's 2-0. Jonathan Lucroy is scheduled next. Betancourt tonight has a couple of hits. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. I know when the Cubs get to the 9th with a lead, or as they have tonight, tied the game, this guy is tough. He really is. And the pitch, Betancourt sends a bouncer to third. Backhand Ramirez, long throw, and dug out by Pena to end the inning. Marmol works through the 9th. 8 1/2 are complete. Brewers 4, Cubs 4. Before we continue in the Cubs 9th, 10-4 station identification. This is the Brewers Radio Network.
The home of the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Cubs, half of inning number 9. Scratch Axford. Bring on LaTroy Hawkins. Also down there throwing, and he's got the bottom half of inning number 9. And he will face Giovanni Soto. Now the Brewers trying to get to the 10th. Soto, 2 strikeouts, and his 5th home run came with 1 out back in the 7th. LaTroy Hawkins. Here it is. Soto took it high, and it's ball 1. Soto, Baker. The stretch by Hawk. And the pitch. That one is too low. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield. Slightly to pull for Soto. And the pitch to him. That one is in there. 2 balls and a strike. Soto in his Rookie of the Year season was outstanding. He's a good receiver, good thrower. 2-1 delivery, and that's a swing and a bouncer to the hole. Betancourt's there, should throw him out, and does. That's 1 away here in the 9th. And the batter is going to be Jeff Baker. Mike Quaddy, the Cubs skipper, has been ejected. Is that Jeff Samardzija? I believe it is. Getting up in the Cubs bullpen. Lou Montañez is due next. 1 out. Hawkins set to work. Jeff Baker waiting and takes a strike. 0-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Right-handed batting Cubs second baseman tonight. Here comes Hawk. Big swing and a foul back. Got a piece of a bender that time. Still 1-2. Game 3 tomorrow night. Giovanni Gallardo against Randy Wells tonight. Gallardo had a chance to win. That went bye-bye in the 8th inning when the Cubs tied it. Hawkins, glove on knee. New sign. Lucroy sitting down low and away. Here it is. Swinging a bouncer to short. Betancourt has it and throws out Baker. There are 2 up and 2 down, and here comes Lou Montañez. Montañez batting for the first time tonight. LaTroy Hawkins Fourth pitcher used by Ron Renicky tonight. Here it is. Montañez, a strike, looking about belt high on the inside corner. It has been Gallardo, Estrada, Braddock, and now Hawkins. The Cubs with Hawkins in his 17th game. His earned run average is a minuscule 0.59. And the pitch. Check swing, I think he held. Nope, he didn't. Boy. The check swings tonight are not very big check swings, but they're, I think the Brewers got a break on that one from Eddie Hickox. The 10th inning coming up. Brewers 4, Cubs 4.
Today, Lucroy sitting on 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. Righty against righty, Samardzija to Lucroy, and the 2-1, ball 3. Montañez, Campana, Fukudome left to right. No changes on the infield. Still Ramirez, Castro, Baker, Pena, and Soto doing the catching. 3 balls and a strike, nobody out, and the pitch, he walked him. There's a start. Lucroy, a leadoff walk. The Brewers have the go-ahead run on to begin the 10th. Nobody out. Let's see if Josh Wilson is going to be bunting here. He's looking down at Eddie Cedar in the box over at third. So Josh Wilson batting. Wilson in very limited work this year as a Brewer. This is his 21st at bat. He's still hitting .300. 6 hits, a couple home runs, and 4 RBIs. Ramirez is playing about 2 steps up on the grass and off the line at third. Wilson does show bunt, lays it down first base side. Pena gloves. He'll go to second and is in time to get him. Close play. Lucroy went in feet first, but Pena, the bunt was laid down in a good spot, but just had too much steam on it. And the first baseman, Pena, came in, no hesitation, took a quick turn to second, made the throw, Castro covering, and the Cubs get the lead man. Putout goes 3-6. Wilson saved with fielder's choice. So now Weeks. Ricky's had a good game. 3 hits, an RBI. A run scored. Pumps that bat off his right hip. And the pitch is outside, ball 1. So many batters, and when they're ready to swing, they keep their hands high, above their shoulders, sometimes below their ear. But Ricky has his hands low. It's kind of off his back right hip. That kind of locks him in. Soto sets up outside. Wilson at first, and the 1-0. That's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Ricky came into this ball game tonight leading all National League second basemen in hits and runs scored. And again, he's tacked on 3 hits and a run with his performance tonight. 4-4 game of the 10th. Wilson at first, 1 out. Good count for Rick. Samardzija from the stretch. There goes Josh. The 2-0 is a strike. Throw down to second is not in time. Wilson got a good jump. Belly flop slide into second for Wilson. So he steals a base. He's in scoring position now. A 2-1 count to Ricky Weeks here in a 4-4 game of the 10th. First stolen base for Josh. See if Ricky can bring him in. He leads off second, and the 2-1, a check, and that's ball 3 down low with Nyjer Morgan to follow. The Brewers bullpen is busy once again down the right field line as Soto's going out to chat. Tim Dillard is up, and John Axford has joined him in the bullpen down the right field line. Morgan on deck. Wilson at second. 4-4 game of the 10th. Only one out. A 3-1 count to Weeks. The wind has died down a little bit. Samardzija ready. From his belt. The kick. The 3-1. Strike 2. Took something off. He came back with a slider. That's a fastball count. But he came back off speed with some movement at 83 miles per hour. And it's full 3-2. Cubs will have Campana, Fukudome, Castro due up in their half of the 10th inning. Batters 9-1-2. Wilson at second, 1 out. And the payoff pitch, a swing and a fly ball to right. Shallow. Towards the line, coming in Fukudome. He's got it. And Wilson has to hold. So Weeks flies out to right. 2 down. And it's up to Niger. It was a breaking ball, a 3-2 pitch, about thigh high. And Ricky just got under it. And Fukudome made the catch near the right field line for the second out. Brief meeting at the mound. Soto, Ramirez, and Samardzija. And now Morgan. Niger 2 for 5 tonight. A run scored. He's also stolen a base. Wilson can run. Again, the best arm in the outfield right now is probably Fukudome in right. 2 down. Wilson a good lead. Here's the pitch. Morgan looks at a fastball strike. 89 miles per hour, tailing away, clipping the corner. Morgan a left-handed batter. Samardzija a right-handed pitcher. If Morgan can get on, Ryan Braun would follow. But 2 down. Wilson is second. And the 0-1, a swing and a bouncing ball back to the mound. Samardzija has it, fires to first. Inning over. Brewers don't score, get a walk, lead 1. 9 1/2 complete in Chicago. Still a 4-4 game. Now Ron Renicky goes back to the bullpen as the Cubs will bat here in the home 10th. We've seen Gallardo, Estrada, Braddock, Hawkins, and now it's Tim Dillard. Sidewinder on for the 8th time this year. ERA an impressive 1.86. Has not walked a batter in over 9 innings worked. Opponents hitting 152 against him. Tony Campana, he can fly, leads off. And the pitch, line to left, down the line. That's going to fall for a base hit. Braun cuts it off. Campana trying for 2. Braun's throw to second is not in time. Did he slide off the bag? He did not. A soft double fair by a foot down the left field line. Braun a good throw to second. Campana, we mentioned he can fly. A belly flop slide into second, and he nearly overslid the bag. That ball just fair, and Braun fired that throw in from the Cubs bullpen. But Campana with a leadoff double, and the Cubs have the winning run on. Nobody out in the 10th. And here's Kosuke Fukudome. Fukudome is 1 for 4, doubled and scored and sparked that 3-run rally in the 8th. He shows bunt, and he took it back, and Dillard misses outside for ball 1. Fukudome with 4 sacrifice bunts this year. Josh Wilson over at third is still playing on the dirt near the bag, but guarding that third base line. Betancourt is shading Fukudome up the middle. The pitch again, he shows again. Dillard misses outside. 2-0. Sergio Mitre has left the Brewers dugout and is sprinting down the right field line towards the bullpen area. 4-4 game in the 10th. Campana at second, nobody out. Dillard bends over at the waist. The sign from Lucroy. And the 2-0, a bunt off the plate, back to the mound. Dillard has it, only play to first. Fielder covering, they get the out, but Campana down to third. And now let's see what Ron Renicky will do defensively here. We have seen at times the Brewers go with 5 infielders in this spot. We've seen Braun come in and they'll play 5 infielders defensively. In fact, Ryan Braun is now sprinting in from left field as Ron Renneke is walking out to the mound. So we might see this look again. Saw it, I believe, in Washington. I want to say in St. Louis. And now here in Chicago, where the Brewers likely will go with 5 infielders. With the winning run at third, 1 out. And the batter is Starlin Castro. That's exactly what the Brewers are going to do defensively. Braun is going to cover the area between Betancourt and second. So it's Wilson near third, Betancourt at short, Braun left of second, Weeks fielder on the right side. And here is Starlin Castro. 4-4 game of the 10th inning, and fielder, boy, he's giving Castro the first base line. Fielders are good, I'd say 35 feet wide of first, and everybody's going to come up right on the edge of the infield grass. 5 infielders. Campana at third, 1 out. Castro ready, and the pitch, a swing and a drive to center. This is going to win the game over the head of Hart, and the Cubs win it in 10, 5-4 as Campana scores. The Brewers squander a 3-run 8th inning lead. The Cubs come back to tie it at 4, and they win it in 10 on the walk-off base hit by Castro, scoring Campana, and the Cubs make it 2 straight in the series. It's all over. Chicago wins it in 10, the final. Cubs 5, Brewers 4.
And Corey, the Cubs with a big come-from-behind win tonight.
And the Cubs, you make it 2 straight in this series. The totals from this one tonight in 10 for the Cubs: 5 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors, and 5 left on base. For the Brewers, 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and 12 left on. The win to Jeff Samardzija, he is now 5-2. The loss to Tim Dillard, he is 1-1. This game was played in 3 hours and 20 minutes, witnessed by 39,151. Again, the final score in 10, Chicago 5, Brewers 4.
And what about our local Chevrolet star of the game?
Well, for the second straight night, the Brewers get a terrific starting pitching performance, but Randy Wolf could not pick up a win last night. Same story for Giovanni Gallardo tonight. He went 7 innings, giving up 1 run, 3 hits. He walked 2, struck out 10. Despite that performance, a no decision for Yo. He'll have to wait until the weekend to try to pick up his 9th win in Boston. So Giovanni Gallardo, a no decision tonight. Still, he's our Chevrolet star of the game.
Brought to you by Chevrolet. They offered 9 models with an EPA estimated 32 miles per gallon highway or better. Chevrolet is the official sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, that's our game broadcast for tonight, folks. We will be back with you again tomorrow for Game 3 when Chris Narveson hooks up against Carlos Zambrano. That ought to be a dandy. Jockey pregame show gets underway at 6:30, and then Game 3 to follow. Until then, this is Bob Uecker along with Corey Provis and Kent Sommerfeld, inviting you to stay tuned for the postgame show. And until tomorrow evening, bidding you a very pleasant good evening from Wrigley Field here in Chicago. Once again, the final score in 10 innings as the Cubs come from behind. Cubs 5, Brewers 4. So long, everybody. You are listening to the Brewers Radio Network.